welcome to the show.
This guy got a mistletoe belt on.
Gosh, that is bad.
The whole plane smells like weed. Those were the days. It's a joke, you idiot.
Looked in the mirror, I'm like,
Good old innocent fun. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Troublemakers, the podcast where each week we bring on a guest and they tell crazy stories about their lives. I'm your host, Dylan Krasinski, coming to you from a gorgeous, gorgeous day in Astoria, Queens. With me, as always, is my good buddy and your new co-host, Mr. Dominic Leonelli, everyone.
what's up, y'all? How you guys doing? That's right, Dommy in the flesh here. This is the number one podcast in the world with only me and Dylan as co-hosts.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's the only podcast with us. But,
it's true.
Yeah, man, I want to hear your feedback. What do you guys feel about me signing on the pod? I'm here to, try to deliver the hardball questions.
You bring them hot, dude. You bring them hot.
Try to come in hot. I'm excited for this guest, man. I don't know him, but I hear a lot of good things about him, too.
Yeah, he's a great guy, a returning guest of the pod. We had him on maybe 3 months ago, and we're psyched to have him back. We just recorded. It's a great fucking episode. So like the video, subscribe, comment, and we'll get right into it with Jake Silberman, everybody. There we go. Yeah, he's getting it. Right at the end of the pod, you were like, by the way, did these people know who I am?
Yeah.
We intro.
I was like, I'm happy to be anonymous, I guess. But
yeah, but it also was so funny.
Yeah.
It took you literally 55 minutes.
I was like, well, wait a minute now. Well, who am I to these fucking people?
You were like, well, we do it after.
Yeah.
But dude, I can't believe it. 5 goddamn trains. That is exhausting.
Yeah. But you do like, I don't know. Because then there's the other time when you get kind of just like, it's not sleepy, but you're just kind of like, what the fuck? I'm on this train for 35 minutes each way.
Yeah.
So either way, it was going to be long either way.
Yeah. I do I'll go like, I like a long train. If 40 minutes on one train, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can sit there. You're going to get seats.
You're going to get seats.
You're going to get a seat.
Get seats. Yeah, I don't know. I used there's no train between where I live and you live. Like,
yeah, no. They've been talking about it.
They just decided to never connect those two areas.
They apparently have been talking about it for years where they're like, we're going to add a train from Brooklyn to Queens, but they've never done it.
No.
Right by the Wilson Ave stop, there's like a commuter or like a where they ship goods.
Yeah.
What is that called? Like a freight line?
You sure? Okay.
And they were like, we're going to turn that into a subway.
A subway?
Never going to happen.
No.
Maybe in 25 years.
Look,
we did it.
Somebody's going to do it one day, though. It's getting too much.
I don't know. The idea that the city would like make a major investment just seems...
Dude, I mean,
don't know.
we're already
the mayor is
we're paying for migrants, dude, to live in luxury hotels. I mean, why wouldn't we make
the mayor's like, got trouble with Turkey? That's crazy that his like scandal is like international.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew it was like bribes or corruption or something.
He has something to do with like the Turkish government.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not even surprised. I'm surprised you think you're surprised over this guy because I wouldn't be surprised. They like seized 3 of his phones and I'm like, dude, he's a cop. Believe me, he knows how to hide the real shit. Like cops know.
It is. I think nobody's talking about it. The mayor of New York City is going down for corruption. I feel like this is like a Batman.
I love it. That is exactly what I want to be involved in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, the mayor of New York should be corrupt, though. Well, it would be weird if he was like, had nothing on him.
No. I want all politicians to get taken down for their corruption. All of them.
Sure.
Like, dude, I follow this Instagram account where they post all of the congressmen and women and the senators, all of their stock market trades.
Oh, dude, that shit. You start looking into that.
It really makes me furious.
You just want to crush your phone in your fucking
It makes me so angry, dude. Have you ever looked into that, Dom? It's crazy.
But, I could imagine they're going to have a documentary about our governor for sure. Eric Adams, 100%. They're going to start pulling up all the old shit he did when he was pulling people over. Oh, you got some dope on you? No, listen, we can make this go away. He was a cop before body cameras.
That's when it was.
Think about all the strings he pulled.
That was when the good shit could happen.
Oh, yeah, back when. That's why he had to become mayor. He took that pay cut when they had to start being legal on the job.
My cousin was a cop in Jamaica before body cameras were a thing.
Jamaica Queens or
Yeah.
Jamaica?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Jamaica.
Can you imagine his white ass down
What
there?
you doing, brother
Yeah.
man? Yeah, that, yeah.
They got no body cams out in Jamaica.
Right, just guns with
Yeah.
long barrels.
But dude, I remember he would tell me stories. He was like, when I was younger, when he's like 15, 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
So like he retired right at that as soon as he could.
He was like,
And-
I'm not, nothing of that I'm doing is going on camera.
Yeah, he retired at like 42 years old.
Wow.
Like literally 20 years hit. It
Was he
like-
shady?
No.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
above board.
But he's a very big guy.
Yeah.
So he used to drive those like little, have you ever
Like
seen
fat
those little?
or just big?
He's tall and large. Like he's probably like 6'2" and like 350 pounds.
Dude,
Like he's a big dude.
is he running after anybody?
Well, he used to drive those little cars. Have you seen in like Times Square those little parking meter cars?
Oh my god!
You know, he would drive those around. He's like the size of the car.
Yeah.
And so people would always like, he would tell me stories, would be able, people like flip him off and be like, fuck you, dude. And then he would like get out of the car and they're like, never mind, you're good.
Dude, I saw a fucking cop the other day who was mad that someone wasn't moving at like a green light. And he goes, "You fucking retard!"
NYPD, baby.
NYPD. He's just like, and we were like, "Hey there," and he goes, "Fuck it," you know.
Right.
But I remember he told me when he was retiring, he's like, yeah, you know, when I first joined, there was crazy stuff happening. And he's like, now, you know, before you hit someone, you got to look around and be like, any cameras, anyone filming? He's like, these goddamn cell phones. No, he was a very above board guy. He told me another story once. They got like a DOA call, so someone died in their house.
Yeah.
And he's a big guitar player, like very good at the guitar. And he shows up and like they are sitting around waiting for like the family to come, waiting for the ambulance to pick this dead guy up. It was just an old guy.
Yeah.
And they see a case that looks like a rifle case. And they're like, shit, we got to like make sure it's not a gun, you know, and they open it up. And the cop is like, you know, there's a couple cops there and he's like, oh, okay, it's just a guitar. It's fine. And my cousin's like, it's like a really nice guitar, like a few $1,000 guitar. And he's like, he takes it out and plugs it in, dude. And he starts fucking
Shredding over a body.
Shredding, dude. Shredding in the living room. And then like 5 minutes later, he's like, my jaw dropped because the family walks in.
Dude.
While he's shredding. He's just shredding this guitar. And he was like, I'm so sorry. And dude, the family was like, oh, ain't no problem, baby. We thought grandpa was still alive.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
Fuck. Well, good for them for having an attitude about
Yeah.
it. Jesus
But
Christ.
you know, deep down inside when he left there, like, you believe that fucking cocksucker? The last
Dude,
thing
they
we
told
had
him, they
in
were
touch-
like, you could take the guitar. And he was like, absolutely not.
Wow.
No, thank you, but no.
Yeah. Yeah. Holy shit.
That would be the coolest job back in the day, being a cop in the back. I was going to do, my grandfather was a cop. He was a sheriff of my town in Youngstown. And I remember just being like, man, he's got this gun, a badge. It was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, man, that's exactly the type of person that we don't want as cops.
Yeah.
It's you right there.
Any guy
dude.
who's like, I can't wait to do this is
He's
not
going to
yet.
bust some people.
Yeah.
He,
exactly, dude.
He was a sheriff, and he was also a bodyguard for a mob guy. He used to always tell us, I took 4 bullets in my legs for that asshole. Like, dude,
Damn.
mob
The
boss
Youngstown,
guy?
Ohio mob?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are they running?
They were pretty big. If you ever see the movie Goodfellas, actually Richard Pryor's stand-up bit where he talks about the mob, that's Youngstown.
No shit.
Yeah, it's huge. Even in the end of Goodfellas, they have they show Youngstown as the newspaper. It was because it's between Cleveland and Pittsburgh,
Oh, okay.
so it's pretty big mob town.
Wow. Does the mob like do anything anymore?
dude.
What
you
are
can't
they
talk about it.
Yeah, some people
What are
just
they?
got busted.
What
Was
are
in
they
the news.
involved in?
There was a big bust in the news. I guess they just found some guys that were hiding in Sicily. Did you see that like a year
Really?
ago? Yeah, I was in Sicily when it was going down. There was some guy hiding out. I'll tell you what the mob does. They go, yeah, we don't never talk unless we're on a podcast. That's how these people are getting busted.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I see
Fucking
all the
7
clips.
bodies under his basement. Then they bust the guy.
Well, that's how that. I think the mob started as like they were like, "Hey, we're gonna just protect our neighborhood."
Sure.
And then they would be like, "Hey, it's like The Sopranos, right? They're like, "Hey, you got to pay for protection,
Yeah.
because we're here to protect you,
Right.
But if you don't pay, like, maybe a house will burn down,
Right.
Like,
Right.
we'd hate to have that happen, but we're gonna stop it."
But like, are they doing shit like that? Like, is there like a guys in the neighborhood still who are just like, yo, this like we run shit?
I guarantee it. There's some shakedowns. It's probably more of a construction and union, like sanitation type shit.
Yeah, no-show jobs, part-time no-show jobs.
Guaranteed sports, without a doubt. If you're a referee at a sports game, you know the mob exists. You know?
Well, dude, that's how that the Donahue, the NBA ref. You know this, right?
Oh yeah.
He was like friends with a guy who was connected, and he's an NBA ref. So they were like literally just like. He would be like, oh, Lakers playing the Knicks tonight. You know, they're really making us go hard on that Kobe travel or whatever. Yeah. So then they would tell the guy, he would be like, hey, we're going to hit Kobe a lot with penalties or fouls. And so bet on the Knicks.
Yeah. It was funny, too, because they came out with that doc and he basically was like, we all did it. Like, But the NBA was just like, no, all our refs are good besides this one guy. It's like really one fucking dude. One guy is the only guy.
Yeah, this guy's a bad seed because the mob said they were going to blow his head off unless he does it. You know?
Yeah. But today, I don't know how much. Did you see? Are you a Sopranos guy?
Huge.
Oh, yeah. You know the scene when they go to that like Starbucks type coffee shop?
Yeah.
It's like how the neighborhood changed. It's like, you got to pay for protection. Otherwise, we're going to break your kneecaps.
He's like, I'm a manager. I don't know who owns this place.
Like, yeah, man, if you hurt me, it's just going to be another guy here tomorrow. It's just
Doesn't he say something like when they walk out, he's like, can't even run a family business anymore.
It's like this fucking neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of it, there's so much corporate stuff now. I feel like a lot of them probably tried to get into like, I don't even know if it's the American mob, but probably like into like Bitcoin and like all those types of scams.
I can see that. Yeah,
because so many that shit is like untraceable. You got to imagine that anywhere it's like hidden, that's where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the door-to-door shit. There's still people doing that, selling packages, like acting like they're an insurance company. That's a big one. We almost got caught out there one time. They almost got my landlord. Like, they just show up and ask for a deposit. They're like, yeah, your roof will get fixed, no problem. They show you some paperwork, so you give them a deposit, and then you never see them again.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
shady,
show you pictures of roofs. Can you imagine?
Oh.
I'd want to crack up in somebody's face, like, you're going to fall for this dumb shit?
Yeah, here's $1,000. Yeah, we actually could use some work. Thank you so much.
And then you're just gone, you know? Well, I'm not going to screw you over. Look at me.
Or maybe it's like AI stuff, too. Because, like, I feel like that's, like... I don't know, my parent, you know, everybody's parents are getting older. But my mom showed me this fucking email, which wasn't AI. Yeah. She's like, oh, do I need to do anything for this? And it was like clearly a scam. And I was like, just delete it. And if you ever see, like, no one on your email needs anything from you. Like, like she was just like, do I need, and I'm just like, you know, that's like credit card information. That's like gone. But some of the shit you see, just like scrolling TikTok where like, this is AI and it looks, I'm like, every parent is going to fall for this.
Oh, yeah.
Mom,
we're going to fall for this at some point.
I know.
Was it an Italian guy with an Indian accent, Mom?
I love the idea of the next step for the mob is just like they're going to become influencers.
They're going to be nerds.
Right.
They're going to be fucking nerds.
They're just like, well, you know, we got a YouTube racket. We protect the influencers and they pay us a percentage, you know? Oh, you don't want your account to be deleted, do you? Okay.
Fuck you. Pay me.
Dude, yeah. Before we get real into it, dude, I want to plug the special before
thanks.
Instead of waiting till the end, you know, while we got their attention.
Totally. Come on in. I got a special dropping Wednesday, October 23rd on my YouTube channel. So it's just Jake Silberman on YouTube. I filmed it in Portland, Oregon a few months ago. So excited that it'll be out. Excited that it's just going to be done. Yeah.
How long have you been working on it?
I mean,
is this your first one?
I did a crowd work one in 2020.
Yeah.
Right before I filmed it like 2 weeks before the pandemic. And so that came out during then. But I had never dropped like a material one. So this is my first material one.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
So is it I haven't done one yet, and I'm doing comedy now like 10 years probably. Yeah. And you think your first one, it's that like 10 years basically of material.
Yeah.
That you're like, hey.
It's weird because it's like, I don't know, like, they always say that, but I've been doing it for 10, 11 years now, and like most of the jokes that I put on the special are within a few years.
Yeah,
like
2-3 years.
Right. The last two, like the stuff that I did 5-6 years is not good. It's
you
just
outgrew it.
Yeah, so I didn't record it then, and I'm not gonna like go back and be like, oh yeah. So a lot of this stuff was like, probably the last 2 or 3 years that I had written. And I don't know, it also just feels good to be like, you have a point where you're like, oh, I just don't do those jokes anymore. It's kind of a nice like line in the sand where you can be like, this forces you to write more, forces you to grow. And then, I don't know, I mean, these specials, like, one drops every day.
Yeah.
So trying to stand out, I don't know. I think it's just like, you do it, you can prove that you can do it. You're going to clip it up anyway. Like, that's where people will see it, is it's all going to be clipped out.
Yeah, what did you do, 45 an hour?
I think we cut it down to about, I think it's like 35.
Oh, okay.
good.
Yeah.
That's not, and that 35, you'll be able to cut like
Yeah.
25 clips from that.
And you hope too that a little bit shorter, people will watch the whole thing or most of it. I don't know. I mean, most people, even like on Netflix, don't do an hour anymore.
Dude, no, there's very few comics that'll even watch their specials. It's kind of like, for me, and it's all personal. Like,
Yeah,
it's all
course.
personal preference. But like when Nate Bargatze puts out a new special, I'll always like give it a shot.
Yeah.
Shane, obviously, I'll watch those
Like
all the way through.
Attell's was 35 minutes.
Yeah, dude. If a guy like Attell is only doing a 35-minute special,
It's
there's
changed.
no reason that like
Yeah.
me or you
No.
or Dom should be doing an hour 20.
It's crazy.
It's like, all
it's
right.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, I think it also depends on the type of material. Like, I think for quick one-liner jokes, it's hard to stay invested. But more storyteller style comedy, like Nate, it kind of goes by easier. It's easier to digest.
Yeah, when you have a bit that's, Attell is doing
100
20
laughs a
jokes
minute.
so
many
5
fucking
minutes.
bits. Yeah, he's so good.
Where, Bargatze or like Kreischer, they're doing 12 minutes for one joke.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
I think
like,
it
all right.
depends too. If you have a fan base, they'll probably go with you longer.
Yep.
But if you're just trying to introduce yourself, like, I honestly I feel like a lot of people could just be doing like 20s and drop them and just be like, hey, this is like a 20-minute set. Because I don't know. I would love to like know what comedy fans even want anymore, because so much of it is like, a lot of people don't like, you see these bits, they'll come out as reels, and then it's like, when I look at them, I'm like, this joke is not done. But a lot of comics are dropping them just because they need shit to post.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, if you had waited a couple more months and like really honed this thing, it would have been great. But now it's like kind of okay, but you're kind of like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just don't know if like people on the internet don't care. Maybe like the standard is lower. Maybe just because you're taking a shit on your phone,
You're looking at it,
what do
yeah.
you really care how like great it is? But the special, I feel like, should be like, feel like these jokes are done. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't post a lot of stand-up clips, maybe like one every few months, honestly. I don't post I post mostly podcast clips, but I just posted, I'll really post something where if, like, I had this joke about dating in New York and like pretending like that you don't like Trump.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then it was like with that Trump's sober, but he sleeps with prostitutes, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anyone have that take. And I like thought about it. I was like, oh yeah. And I was just like, I gotta get this out.
Throw it out now.
Just so I can keep working on it. But
Yeah.
like, if someone else has that take, I'd be like, dude, I posted that 6 months ago.
Right.
But yeah, dude, that's really the only time that I was like, it was like the 7th time I told it.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not done.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to get it out.
I'll post stuff that's like clearly like one-offs, like it's not going to ever happen again,
Yeah.
like weird little moments. But yeah, like I just feel like I want the joke to be like, all right, I'm done telling this, But I think that everybody has their own philosophy, so I don't know. But
I think it took me a while to realize you could do more to the joke. Like you're saying where you're like, oh, it's not finished. It took me a while before I would just put shit out. I'd be like, oh, that's what it is. And I didn't realize, if you let this marinate for 3 months and write on it, you could add on it, and it's night and day.
yeah.
But also when it comes to me posting my stuff, I don't give them the full thing anymore. I'm like, I'll give you a piece of the joke. So when you come see me, I'm still going to do 5 more tags on it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm always behind on this shit, anyways. But yeah, it's crazy. Like some people post stuff every other day, and I'm like, dude. There's no way that this is like all great stuff.
There is a comedian, and I would say his name, but I forget it right now. I forget who it is. He is I was just talking about it with a couple buddies of mine, and dude, he's literally putting out an hour of stand-up every single week. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No clue.
What's his name?
Josh Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, wow.
I saw that and I was like, this is insane.
His is like all like topical though.
It's very topical.
It's like, hey, the debate just happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the debate.
I've seen some of his stuff. I really can't blame him. You know, Josh, he gave me some advice once. He was like, you know, you people are watching you more because they like you and they want to hang with you.
That's a good point.
Like,
that's a good point.
They're not like, hey, this guy that I like, that I'm a fan of, he didn't destroy exactly at every 7-second mark. He's like, they're just hanging out with you. And it really, I think it is a very strong point. It even goes back to like what you were saying, that some people like when they're watching that shit with a lot of views, you know, there's people out there that are like, I just enjoy what this person's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with him, it has to be like, I've watched a little bit of it, but if you're putting that much out, it has to be like his takes are...
Yeah. It's basically a live podcast by himself.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder how he's doing it, because this is the thing. I have like a couple thoughts on it. One is like, it's crazy that it's wild that he's putting out an hour every week.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But I wonder how he's doing it practically. Like if he's selling out 5 shows a weekend.
Oh, dude, he's selling out way more than that. He's going to Portland. I was looking at their calendar. He has 12 sold out shows.
That's nuts.
Post starting the day after Christmas. Yeah, so
you got to think, what is he doing? Like, he's like, but just say like 5 shows in a weekend. He's like, okay, 4 of these are going to be my material. And then like 1 is like a working it out show where I'm just giving my like takes for an hour.
I would be fascinated if I could like feature for him or something and watch a full weekend, because I wonder
to see how it's working.
Is it, because like I also wonder, does he have like an hour that he does that is just like, there's a joke about my dog?
Yeah.
Or is it all like, is it all that type of stuff the whole time?
I mean, if you're putting out an hour every week, I feel like he's got to be doing a lot of new stuff every time you see him.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of fans go probably because they know like this show, kind of like if you watch like if you go to like a Big J show, you pretty much know that he's going to do a fair amount of crowd work, so you're going to get a different show no matter which one you go to.
It's like a in the moment type of,
and maybe
never going to happen again.
And maybe that is the same thing with Josh, except his is more like, hey, I'm going to clearly be talking about whatever, the debate or Trump getting shot or whatever the new thing is.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like that. But it would be interesting to see like, you know, like how much does it change show to show?
Yeah. I think it's, you know, whatever that he's doing it, I think it's pretty impressive. But the thing we were talking about is we might look back on like a year from now. I'm not going to like what this changes about comedy, where you're going to have, if he gets success from this model,
successful.
He's already successful.
Yeah.
Yes. But if this model of like an hour every week, dude, can you imagine when we're living in a time a year from now where just like people are putting an hour of stand up out every week and you're like, what the hell, dude? I got to put out an hour.
Yeah. I mean, I think, again,
it's going to be a nightmare.
I can't imagine it really catching on because first of all, most comedians don't have the opportunity to headline a full weekend or fucking 12 shows. So you're just not getting the stage time.
Yeah.
But also like people tried to follow the like Louis or Carlin method for a while of an hour a year. And even those guys got burned out because it was just like, this isn't as good.
No.
In today's age, and I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but you know, today it's crazy. Now you could see like when people do like their topical little riffs about what's going on. I always scroll through Instagram and it's very surface stuff. It would be like, so-and-so said this. And it's like, not like you're almost repeating the news at some point. Like,
a lot of it is
because
that.
as soon as it comes out, there's a funny take, you know, and it's like, boom, here's the funny take for everybody.
What's the story about? Tell, actually. I heard him tell some story on a podcast, or someone was talking about him where like something happened, some like tragedy, and they see him at the cellar and he's like, oh, you got any jokes about this?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I wrote like 2. What about you? He's like, I got 25. He's just like, Jesus Christ, dude. You got 25 jokes?
On the top.
Yeah, like 25 jokes about this thing that happened 3 hours ago. Like, what the hell, dude?
He's a fucking machine, dude.
I know.
He's so crazy.
It really shows the layer, though, of that's the best way to see your skill level in somebody, because he's going to put out a good joke of it. Meanwhile, if I were to do it, you know, then you're going to put that shit out. I'm not a topical guy, but I'm like, you know, you can't compete with the greats on some of these things.
Yeah, I don't like being topical because then you got to write a lot more.
And it's like, what if you're scrolling through Instagram? There's 11 people with your same take the day you post.
I know. Yeah.
You look like a jackass.
Like when Trump got shot, like
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Within, I feel like an hour, I was seeing reels. I was like, someone was like, hey, I got a show in an hour. I'm just going to tape it, fucking clip it. And
the amount of, I saw so many clips of being like, it's crazy. Trump got almost assassinated.
Every single one.
And people in the crowd don't even know yet. And I'm like, how do you have a joke when we don't, as a society, know, like not everybody knows?
I mean, everything is comedy is in this weird place because like it is competing if you're doing takes like that, but even jokes. I mean, think of how many comedians there are, how many people are posting stuff every day. Like comedy used to be this thing where it was like you worked in the dark. If basically the public saw you if you did like one of the 5 late night shows, and then it became like some cable stuff. And now though it's just like if you're gonna do that, you are competing with tweets, you're competing with random, like that's the other thing, is like you're not just competing with comedians, you're competing with a guy who's like, here's my take on the Trump assassination, and his could be funny. And he's not a comedian, he's just like, yo, isn't it crazy that and you're like, all right, so I have to compete with that like it's to really hone down to get a take that nobody else is doing. Like most people are not doing that. Most people are doing like surface level or just like, hey, it's not important that it's good, it's important that it's first,
that it's fresh, it's first. Yeah, exactly. Not even fresh, dude. It's like, I saw like 3 news anchors say that same bit,
of course,
and they were like, but it is crazy, man, how it's changing, because you're also competing with not stand-up comedians who are like funnier on the internet.
Like they're just better.
People who are just good on the internet, and you're like, oh my God, this is so funny, dude.
Well, I think that's why, to me, whenever I don't watch late night anymore. I never really liked the format. I always thought it was kind of stale. But like when I go home, my parents they love Colbert, and so I'll just walk in and they'll be watching like the Colbert, and I'm like, dude, these monologues, like these jokes have been done. These jokes have been done 8 hours ago or a month ago. Like you are. Those guys used to be like the cutting edge because it was like, yo, what is Carson going to say about, or what is Letterman, And now it's like, dude, this is dead. Yeah. There's literally millions of people who've already done this today. Yeah. You doing it on a TV show seems so weird to me.
What's your take on the late night spot now? If you were to get the opportunity,
of course you would do it. Like,
of course, yeah.
It's crazy though that it doesn't seem to move anything.
No, I think honestly, it would be great to do. For a while, I was like, I don't even, you're obsessed with it when you start, and then for a while, you're like, I don't even. You kind of tell yourself when you're like, realize you're not going to get one within 4 years of doing stand up. You're like, I don't even want it. But now I've gotten to a point where I understand that it really will do nothing for you. But the biggest thing, I would be happy to do one because I could send it to my parents, and my parents could send it to their friends and my family, and I could go to Thanksgiving and they're like, wow, Dylan shook hands with Jimmy Fallon.
Dude, if
he's
I was
a real comedian.
If I was on Colbert, it would like ice it. Like it would just be like, they would be like, oh my God, this is a show we watch every fucking night. He's there.
He's done it.
But you'd be like, Mom, did you watch it? Oh, we forgot tonight.
We fell asleep on the couch while our baby boy achieved a dream.
Dad, when are you going to mow the lawn? Well, what is this Colbert shit?
How much money did you get paid? Well, I had to pay that.
I lost out. I would do it in a heartbeat just for the sake of doing it too. I think it'd be cool as shit, man. I would do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't like how there's a lot of comics right now who are very jaded towards that, and they're like, I wouldn't even do one. I'm like, okay, dude, yes you would.
Yeah,
of course I would do it.
That's stupid to say you wouldn't do one. I just think that it is crazy that it doesn't like, I don't even know what really, moves
at all.
Yeah, like
at all. Honestly, I think the only thing that moves the needle now is your Instagram count. And your that's it really.
Yeah, overall, I guess so.
Real fans. YouTube, I feel like, is so huge.
Dude, I don't know if big podcasts really move the needle that much anymore. You remember when 2 years ago, if you did Rogan,
even Rogan doesn't.
You were touring. Yeah. I think actually I think Kill Tony moves the needle.
Yeah,
if you have a great,
if you're like one of those set in that circle, that
might be wearing down a little bit too now. Honestly.
But yeah, that's the big one. A ton of guys that are our level or even like 5 years in have become like headlining comedians because of Kill Tony?
I think people are, I mean, this is just like my take. I just feel like people are kind of exhausted by culture overall now. I think we're so inundated with so much stuff that I think even subconsciously people are like, I don't want to be involved in this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously super fans, but I just think that it's like people are not meant to be inundated with this much info and stuff all the time. And I think, I don't know, like you see like younger kids, right? Like like Gen Z.
Yeah.
There's an ad on the subway now. It's like, so it's like mainstream where there's this company that's, I think, I forget the name. I took a picture of it the other day. And they were advertising like the Sony camcorder.
Okay.
Refurbished. And you ever see kids now on the street? Like you ever see like.
They have like the cam.
They have the camcorder, the digital cameras.
Oh, wow.
And like they are stepping back from like the constant connection.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's like an aesthetic choice in some way. It's like, hey, what if it wasn't crystal clear? What if it was a little grainy again?
I love that.
But like, I think you can see them, like, if it's being marketed on the subway, that means there's enough money in this shit again where people are like, no, the kids want a camcorder. The kids want a digital camera. They don't want to be immediately connected to all this shit. And I think generally people are like, yeah, dude, it's enough.
Yeah.
We kind of get it. There's too much shit for us to consume now.
Well, there's an influencer for anything that you can think of right now. Dude, there's like if 10 years ago you told me that like a guy who chops wood in the woods, like chops with an axe, would be like making $100,000 a month by posting videos, just like hammering, I'll be like, you're crazy. But yeah, no, dude, there's a axe influencer.
There's 10 of them. There's 10 for
so
every.
many.
There's
dude.
guys who are trying. That's their dream. They're like, I've been chopping wood. Why the fuck am I not getting my break?
Yeah, dude.
Jealous of the guy.
Yeah, like
Look at it. He don't even know how to use a wedge. You know, the people that I got the most respect for are the people that go live with a third grade pitcher, see what's wrong with the pitcher, and then they're like, okay, first one to get it, I'm going to shout them out. They'll have 80,000 people in the live.
I hate those,
Nope,
dude.
that's not the third pig eye. Keep looking.
Oh,
It's
I
like
hate
a girl
those,
in a
dude.
dress with a pig eye. And I'll be looking for this shit for an hour. I'm watching this fucking dude's live. And I'm like, this is genius. Somebody with absolutely zero talent. He's not even being funny. He's just constantly telling people you're wrong. And people are arguing, well, then where is it? I'm sorry, I can't tell. It's not in that fucking picture, dude.
Yeah, it's not there.
No third pig eye. You can Google it. Google don't fucking know.
Dude, it's the senior prank where you release 3 pigs and label them 1, 2, and 4, and that's what it is, dude. They're never gonna find the third pig.
I guarantee you, these guys are getting $10,000 a month. I make a little bit on social media. When you look at what they make, TikTok and shit, 10 grand probably.
I mean, that's enough to make a life, you know. 10 grand posting Instagrams.
yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like people are checking out a bit.
Things are changing, dude. I was just having this conversation yesterday with a comic where we were talking about I guess it's like Gen Z.
Yeah.
Is that like next, like they're about to go to college?
Yeah, I guess so.
They are not having sex. They're not drinking alcohol, and they don't read books.
Dude, you know how every generation, like old people are like, we were better than you? Can we now, because we have the stats, say we are officially better than this? Like,
I think so, easily. Dude, I mean,
like I'm just like, okay, you guys are like more depressed. You don't have sex. Everything is fucked up. Like, we have something over you,
dude. It was,
and I think we had less sex than.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
probably.
Because you see the people on TikTok when they ask girls on the street, "Oh, you're in college. What's a high body count?" They'll be like, 100 or something. So I think the women are still out there. I think the dudes might be laying back from sex. They're
Yeah,
trying
I
to
think
get
the
a
dudes
career,
are. The dudes
make
are all
some
got all
money.
fucked up with porn.
yeah, they're getting obsessed with
that's true,
things
too.
like pocket knives and like
making
slingshots.
money. I mean, you see these kids today, you talk to them, they're all about, I'm going to do this, do that, have a house by the time I'm 30, you know. I wasn't thinking that. I wasted so much time chasing women.
Yeah, dude, it's that Andrew Tate
I
style
do.
of living, dude.
One
You
time,
go, hey, I gotta have $1 million in my bank account by the time I'm 22.
I
Hey,
drove
okay.
to
Good luck.
Niagara Falls once when I was 19 to see a girl and got stood up. Dude, and I had work the next day.
How
She's
far
like,
was
I
that?
fell asleep 5 hours.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
19 years old.
Yeah, you will do almost anything.
Do you have
at
a
certain age.
craziest thing you've ever done for a date, for a girl, for a try to hook up with someone?
One time, I used to. Sometimes I would not like distance wise, but sometimes I used to like. I would just like make up a crazy story. Like one time, we had this very pretty waitress, and I was at a restaurant with my buddy, and I was just like bullshitting. I was like, man. She was like, how was everything? I was like, not great. The people next to us were fucking Nazis. And they were just talking about how much they hated Jews. And she was like so concerned that we just started talking and flirting. And then I got her number and we hooked up a few weeks later.
Wow, dude, that is crazy. Was she Jewish?
She was not Jewish.
Oh, it would have been even better if she was Jewish.
One of the people.
Yeah. She just like was just like, I'm so sorry. And then, it's once you got the hook, you're just like, oh, well, what's your deal? And then
that's so funny.
Talk about customer service. This girl enjoys Employee of the Month.
I mean,
what restaurant was this? I'm fucking going tomorrow.
This is not a great restaurant.
Yeah. Applebee's.
You gotta call her back.
She's married now.
Wow.
I saw on Facebook she's married to this
what
ripped
happened?
up dude. Yeah.
He probably said, they're talking about the blacks.
Yeah. He was like,
you're at Hooters. She's like, no, those are our customers.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want, dude?
I am so terribly sorry.
Yeah, man. She was she was nice.
Give me one.
She was a nice gal.
Oh, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was wild because it was like, when you say something that you think is like, this is clearly me fucking around with you, but she just bought it and I was like, I guess I'm going to keep going. And then you keep going. And then you're like, dude, now I've invented this whole world.
Oh, did you ever tell her you were?
I did tell her.
Yeah.
I did tell her.
And she was like, oh, okay.
She was like, okay, well, I'm already here. So
she was probably like, listen, I'm a whore anyway.
Yeah.
All you had to say was hi.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I fucked the dude on the way over.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like, that's the one I remember where I was like, wow, I can't believe this worked. If you just make like a fun time.
Oh, dude.
If you just are like, yo, I'm fun to be around, they're like, all right, this is something at least.
Yeah.
It's like,
and if you're tall like you are.
Yes.
You're a tall guy, dude.
Yeah.
No, by the way, if you're tall with long hair and a beard too, that kind of helps.
Yeah, I guess so. I know.
I could show up in a fucking circus hat, fucking elephants dancing.
Dom's talking about Nazis. She's like, yeah, gross, dude. Get away from me.
Ew. Well, how
it,
tall are you?
We quit checking when you're my height. Okay, I don't know. 5'5", I guess.
Have you had a woman say like legit? Have they ever told you like, hey, I'm not in, like, you're just too short for me?
No, they wouldn't say it in that way. They'd just be like, ooh, get away from me.
Why are you sniffing my chair?
Yeah, you freak.
Yeah.
But, it's a numbers game too. I mean, I've never had, me being short, I'll be honest with you, I've never had trouble with girls either. I mean,
that's the thing.
I was like, girls taller.
I just feel like if you shoot your shot enough, I don't know. I don't buy the whole like men not getting girls thing.
You just.
I think it's on. I'm like, I used to be more like, maybe girls, but I'm like, I seen dudes with all sorts of weird shit, and they still get women.
Dude,
I fucked women in my van when I lived with. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about this last time you were on.
But it's like,
dude.
I just don't buy that you can't get girls.
No,
all these incels being like, I'm just like, that's on you, man. Someone will fuck you.
Dude, there are guys living on the street with better relationships, more committed relationships than I have.
Right.
You know, and you're like, come on, man.
You just need one good thing that you're real good at and let them see it. I think that's the secret. Girls see you in your best light, and it doesn't matter what it is. I had this buddy, Smiles, kid never brushed his teeth, slightly autistic. He killed himself, shot himself in the head. But
oh my God.
Yeah, man, he was out
Smiles.
there. But dude, he had the biggest, most ripped calves you would ever see in your life.
Yeah.
Because he was like constantly nervous, and he's fucked up, so he would pace all night, walk for 8 hours. But dude, we would go to bars.
He had the best calves.
He would
in the
be
game.
showing girls girls would be lined up. They'd be feeling his calves. Dude was like 5 foot even and just jacked, ripped calves. And
you got girls off that
left and right, dude.
Good for him.
God damn. Well,
why'd he kill
R.I.P.
himself? Yeah,
I know. Dude.
I think honestly, I don't know. It might be too dark for the podcast, but
why did it happen?
Somebody said, now don't quote me on this, but I heard through the grapevine, like I guess his father molested him or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Sure.
I should have just let it ride at Too Dark for the podcast.
Too dark for the
God
pod.
damn, dude.
He was a great dude.
Smiles.
It's crazy. We all bust each other's balls and stuff. Like we roast each other. He was a great fucking dude, man. And huge fucking calves too.
Huge calves.
Seriously, I'm
Huge
always,
calves.
That's my homie, man. Some big ass.
I mean, I get why the dad went after him then. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was
those
all
calves.
Tasty little calves.
The dad was. I'll tell you what. I met the dad, skinny ass fucking chicken legs. You know.
Yeah,
So
man.
imagine the work Smiles had to put in. It wasn't even genetic. I'm like, holy fuck.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, dude. Have you ever been friends with like a fat dude who like loses a bunch of
Oh
weight?
yeah, and they're jacked somehow.
Oh my
Arms
god,
all huge.
dude. I had a buddy who lost a ton of weight in college, and dude, he was ripped, dude. And it's just like, oh man, those calves have been hiding. They've been hiding for years.
Dude, they've been carrying 400 fucking pounds, bro. They've been putting in like that's like
They've been
Olympic
putting in
level
work.
weight that they've been holding, and then all of a sudden they lose it. They're like, oh, this is easy.
Oh, dude. I mean, as a slightly overweight guy, don't fucking comment. Slightly overweight, you piece of shit.
Well, they say the tan helps, and those guys' legs are all purple and shit from when they had diabetes. You know,
Yeah, the veins all fucked up.
Dude, you ever pick like a 45-pound plate up at the gym and you're like, that's heavy as shit. And then you're like, I could lose 45 pounds. 45 pounds I would be pretty in
You
good
think
shape.
you could lose 45?
Me?
I don't think you got 40.
Yeah,
Where are you
pounds.
really 45 on you?
Yeah, I think I could lose like,
What are you at?
I'm like 235 right now.
Oh, you probably could lose.
I could lose like probably
Damn,
60
you hide
pounds.
it well.
dude.
I'll be honest with you, Dylan. You hide it good.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thank you. I
I would
appreciate
have paid
it.
you about 200.
That's the black
215.
t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking 200, I think.
Really,
Yeah.
dude? I've been down to like during the pandemic. I got down to 198.
Oh, you lost weight in the pandemic?
Yeah, dude.
You did the opposite.
Dude, we were just talking about this. I was my best self, man. In the pandemic, I was working out like twice a day. I was eating clean. I was not drinking.
Damn.
Turns out that when I don't have to like go out and hang out with friends and
Yeah.
like see people, I'm just like my best self.
You know, would you say you've been, you gained the weight? Would you say you got that like addiction thing? Because for me, it's always a different addiction. Like I'm losing weight now because I changed the addiction from food to working out.
Yeah.
Walking actually. I just need something to do.
Yeah, during
You know what
COVID,
I'm
I got
saying?
obsessed with walking. I was like, oh, I got to hit 15,000 steps a day. So I just like morning, afternoon, and night, I'd go for these like hour walks.
Nice.
And then I'd lift, and then, yeah,
What about you, man? You got some addiction. What would you say your thing is?
your vice.
It's tough because I
yeah, he's-
don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any drugs anymore. I mean, I used to do all that stuff, but I don't do any of that. Even like women now, it's not like crazy. Like it's
Yeah.
not like you kind of not like age out of it, but you know, like you just kind of are like
Less effort.
the chase. Just it doesn't do.
It's
it
not
for-
that much fun, dude.
Yeah, like a
not.
lot of it is like, you know, when I'm not single now, but when I was single, you're on the apps, you like
Oh, you got a lady now.
got a lady.
What's his name?
That's the
Fred.
addiction. That's the
Boom.
addiction. You're hanging with the lady.
But
getting-
she's long distance.
Oh,
Oh,
So-
damn. So
okay.
she's cheating. No.
She's cheating. Yeah, I mean,
that's tough. That is tough, dude.
It's hard. You got to come home a day early. You got to surprise her a couple times just to see what's up.
here's the thing: if she's cheating, like I don't. It's like I would obviously care, but I would just want to know so I can dip.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. It's like I'm too old to like. I don't think I would fight for anybody
Oh,
now.
dude,
No.
you can't. What's
I
the
would.
point?
Well, I feel like back in the day, now I don't know about cheating, but just like if it wasn't working, I would still try. Like, no, we can make it
Yeah.
work. And now I'm just like, dude, just let me know so I can move on.
You know what it is?
I have no interest in be like, no, we can make this work. I'm like, we can't. It didn't. Let's fucking be done.
Let's separate. You know what it is? I think most men have this experience where you go through a heartbreak.
Yeah.
Right? You go through a heartbreak and you're like, this is the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then you realize that like 6 months, a year, even like 3 years later, when you finally get over it, you're like, oh, I can get over anything.
Dude, yeah.
So there's
It's-
always a next person.
Yeah,
You know,
you-
if it doesn't work, I'll find someone who it works with.
Yeah, like there's like in Seinfeld and Jerry, like he gets to this point where there's a couple episodes where he's like, yeah, I break even on everything, and then he like breaks up with this girl's like, I don't think it's working. He's like, that's fine. She goes, what? He goes, I'll find someone new, and he's just like, and she's like, okay. He's like, thanks for dating me, you know, and like you get to this point, you're aged out where like I think there is that fear early. You're like, man, what if this is the only girl that likes me?
Yeah. And then you realize, no,
No,
more people
it's
will.
not.
Yeah.
And even if it was, life goes, like, you're just like, whatever, you know?
I'll take up a hobby.
Yeah.
I'll live in the woods.
There's always going to be a girl that's going through a bad point in life out there. You know?
Yeah.
There'll always
She
be able to
finds you
get
on the
lucky.
road. She goes, all right, this
Yeah.
is fine.
Dom's ability to find these women
Or
usually
is
at
that
like
yours? Is that
usually
your
a
trick?
Bank of America vestibule or something.
I have a theory about relationships and cheating.
Oh,
and
give it to us.
I think it's, the ones that cheat are the sixes. The uglier women are the one that cheat. No, and
What
I
about
don't mean-
guys? If you're
all
cheating?
guys are gonna cheat.
Okay.
Like, if you're not cheating, you're a guy. Then you got some gayness in you a little bit.
Dude.
No.
Damn, really?
Wow,
I'm joking.
Dom. Wow.
No, I don't know. With guys,
Trying to hang up my cheater's hat.
with guys, I think it just comes down to the guy. To be honest with you, I really don't know. I've never dated them, but I've cheated on every girl I ever dated. But I would never
God
do
damn,
it now.
Dom.
I wouldn't do it now. Now I'm at a point where I'm
When's
like,
the last girlfriend you had?
I had one about 4 months ago, and here's the thing: I settled for a girl, thinking, "Oh, this girl obviously is never gonna cheat on me." I was thinking, and she cheats on me she cheated on me 100 times probably.
Oh my God.
How'd you find out?
I came home early. I always kind of knew because when they're cheating, the little
Damn,
lies
she
come
brought.
out.
Wait, you were living together?
No, we didn't live together. I
you
was
came to
actually
her house.
just by a complete error. Honestly, I always thought she kind of was. But
this.
so my Uber driver, I went from LaGuardia. I never do that, and I was going to Brooklyn.
Where
so
where were you going from?
I was coming out of like Mexico.
LaGuardia?
Oh yeah, LaGuardia Airport or whatever.
LaGuardia?
LaGuardia, yeah.
LaGuardia.
LaGuardia. Yeah, it's an Italian airport now.
Hey,
so.
gabagool, LaGuardia.
Yeah. And it just so happened to be on a red light directly in front of her house. And she's like, "Oh, I just ordered food." And I was lying to her already, not letting her know I was coming home.
Yeah.
And, I was like, shit, I'll just get out here. And I got out. She opened up the door. And she didn't want to let me in the apartment. I knew something was up. Then she has her own bathroom in the bedroom, and she locks the door. She's like, "There was a mouse in there, so I locked it." I'm like, "Yeah, you did not lock
she
it.
Irish?
Why are you British all of a sudden,
Yeah,
bitch?"
what the
No.
fuck?
She was, she was from London. But I'm like, "So you locked the door from the inside because there's a mouse?" She's like, "I'm calling the police." And, I just knew she cheated.
Jesus Christ.
And
She was calling the police on you?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm going to open up the bathroom door. It was one of those ones you could just pop the lock with like a pen or whatever. And she's like, "I'm calling the police."
Damn.
But, she honestly, I usually always, and I don't mean like,
Dom.
when I say pretty, I don't mean the girls that think like that act like prima donna, covered in makeup, got the heavy eyeliner, constantly post. I mean the girls that are naturally just beautiful to where they're sick of being pretty. They don't even try. Those are the girls that don't cheat because they did it already. They had every guy. It's boring to them they don't want to go chase guys. They want to be in love, I feel like. Like the real homebody, naturally beautiful women.
Yeah, yeah. Girl next door.
Yeah, girl
Yeah.
next door.
You got to find a girl that doesn't realize how hot she is. And then
Well,
you're
that's
like,
been the trick
perfect.
forever.
Or
Yeah,
she
yeah.
knows and she doesn't even give a fuck. She's like, "Of course
Amen.
all these guys want to fuck me. I want something better."
Do you ever see like a hot chick or like meet a hot chick and then you meet her boyfriend? You're like, "Oh man, I feel like you're way hotter than him," and then it gives you hope, and you're like, "I feel like I'm like just as good as this guy."
Dude, fucking New York. You see all these
Yes.
beautiful girls, and then the guys are like, "Oh, that's like a guy like me."
Yeah, but then you find out that the boyfriend is in fact like a minor league MLB pitcher or like
you
a
finance
crypto
guys.
billionaire.
Yeah,
and you're
the,
like,
the
"Fuck."
fucking the money shit here is so crazy.
knew
with,
it,
with
dude.
like guys in like some of the dudes who are making like New York money, where you're like, "Oh, this is
I'm talking like New York money, like $1 million a month.
yeah,
kinda
like
shit. Yeah.
like oh, I'm just." These are not. We're not even playing the same fucking game. Like this girl, I'm not even gonna. New York is so trippy because there are literally people you will never meet because of money. You just are. You don't go to the same places, the same clubs.
They don't ride the
same-
subways.
No, fuck no, they don't ride the damn subways. Even some comics who are doing well here don't ride the subway anymore.
Dude, if
They'll
this
be like,
pod-
"Oh, I don't like." They say it. They'll be like, "I don't go down there anymore." Like
If
it's
this
this fucking
pod,
haunted
man-
house.
If I was making like a haunted house, exactly. If I was making like $100,000 a month, I would take Uber Blacks, no more shares. I would be just never riding the
Good for the
subway.
share. Yeah, you don't. I mean, dude, half the reason you get money is so you don't have to deal with fucking people.
Exactly, dude.
And they make enough money where they're like, "I'm Ubering to gigs and home.
Uh-huh.
I'm not fucking waiting an hour on this train
way,
ride."
dude.
But yeah, so you don't meet them on the subway. They're going to fucking Michelin restaurants. They're going to clubs that you don't even know about. Yeah. They're getting invited to parties at people that you don't like. It's a fucking cocoon.
Yeah, dude, my buddy makes really good money, and he was telling me during COVID, all the bars were closed, so like we couldn't go out. Yeah. But he was like, "Oh, dude, yeah, I was going to parties like 3 times a week because these clubs would just like close their doors, but like if you were on a VIP list, you would get to go in, no problem." So he's like, "Yeah, the elites were like having orgies, basically,
of course,
ragers in these like behind closed doors, invite only clubs."
I couldn't even fathom having that type of money. I was hanging with a guy, he owns a tobacco farm somewhere. And this dude, just the way he was spending money when I'm with him in general, was insane. He's like, "Yeah, you want to stop in here real quick? I'll pay for you to get whacked off." And I'm like, dude,
Jesus
I don't
Christ,
even want, like, dude, I was like, "You already bought me lamb chops. I'm good." Like, and this dude
can't get whacked after a lamb chop, man.
He goes, "All right, well, if you want to wait for me, we can go to the bar after." And I was broke, and I'm like, "All right, man." So I waited for this dude to get whacked off, and he comes out all smiling, and then we go.
This is at like an Asian massage parlor?
Yeah, this was in Queens, actually. I was hanging with the dude.
Oh, my God.
Actually, to be honest.
Dude, there's a lot around here. There's a lot. You want to go in for you're like, "Oh, my back's hurting." You got to make sure you're going to the right massage parlor because most of them are a little something special.
Yeah.
I don't see myself getting even that crazy with the money. I've been so broke my whole life, dude. Like I probably still ride the train. I don't know.
Dude,
I'd almost
man.
the fame a little. If I was famous, like if I'm just rich, I don't know, but I'd be like, yeah, if I want to get recognized, I'd be like Keanu Reeves.
That is cool.
Oh no, I would want to be absolutely alone.
Yeah, no.
I would not want to be around anybody.
You give me a little money, I'm going to totally distance myself away from the pores.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sorry, but yeah, I can't do it.
Are you giving up your seat for ladies on the train?
So when I first moved here, I've been in New York for almost 2 years. Yeah. I was like, that's what you do. Anytime I walked on the train and a woman walked, or when I was sitting and a woman walked on, I would immediately do it. Yeah. And then you start realizing no one is doing that.
Yeah, you get rid of that Midwestern politeness.
Dude, truly, I'm a good mannered boy from Minneapolis. Dude. So I was like, hey, a lady's sitting, she should. But then you just also realize like, well, what the fuck is this? Most of these women are my age, or like it's like. If it's an older woman, of course. Wow. Or if it's somebody with like a cane or whatever, of course. But if it's just a lady who's like healthy, I'm like, what is this that I needed to be doing this? So I started to pick up the New York coldness a little bit.
Yeah, it's not New York coldness. It's I'm a feminist, dude. I'm a feminist. If it's an older person or a pregnant person, that's it.
Of course.
Those are the only ways. But if it's just like a lady, I'm like, oh man, you wanted this, and I'm a feminist now. And I'm going to sit here and look at my phone.
Yeah, I mean, you do realize it's like, why should you be sitting over any person? Like, you're healthy. You're a healthy person.
You're probably healthier than I am.
Also, a lot of times women would be like, no, I'm good. So I was like, oh, maybe they kind of view this as like rude to be like, hey, you need to be sitting because you're a lady. So I just stopped asking until it was like, until I could obviously see.
Well,
No, sorry.
I was going to say, you were always a Long Island guy anyway, so you probably never gave the seat up.
Oh, dude, I'm very polite. I'm very
really?
polite. Oh, yeah, holding doors. I mean, that was a big thing at my college where, like, it's not lame, but, like, we were always like, oh, yeah, I went to Siena. It was like, oh, we always hold the door for people. Like, you hold the door for people coming in and out of buildings. But that reminds me of that Curb episode where it's that lesbian. And Larry's holding the door for her, but she's too far away.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? And then he like lets it close, and she's like, what the hell? Why didn't you hold the door? He goes, well, you were kind of far away. Yeah. And also, like, based on how you look, I felt like you wouldn't like it.
Wow.
Because she's like this butch lesbian. Yeah. And she's like, oh, because I'm a woman. You should. He goes, I don't know.
You made me realize I've been living here too long because I'm originally from Ohio. I used to always give my seat up. And I don't even consider it now. Actually, I'll even do one worse. If it's a little tight, I'll go sit down next to the girl and start coughing and shit. Like, hopefully she'll get up.
I have done that, dude. I've sat next to people and like kind of been a quiet asshole to be like, I hope they get up.
Start talking to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, I feel the whole like no, that shit's, I'm still like Midwestern to the point where like manners to me. Like, like the whole, like, I mean, I've probably said this on 5 podcasts, so I'm just becoming this fucking whatever. But the guy, like, any like dishonor of the public space, like really, like it's just like, dude, I'm just like, that's really one of the only things now that like makes my like I actually get like the red rage.
Pretty much all of America.
But it's like, yeah, but you're not trapped in you know, and we're from the Midwest. Like you're in a car mostly. In the subway, it's like, oh yeah, we all wanted to hear this fucking movie you're playing on your phone, or oh, we wanted to hear you fucking rap, or oh, we wanted like that type of shit. When I'm like, yo, this is public. It's not just yours. I'm still, and I don't think that's ever going to leave me. No. And I know some New Yorkers can just ignore it. Like they just seem to be like, we've been around this our whole lives. But coming from a place where like manners are really like important, you would not do that.
It drives me up a wall, man, when someone on the subway pulls their phone out and they're just like watching TikTok videos full volume, and I'm like, bro, come on, man.
I'm getting secondhand mad off of this imaginary person doing this right now. I fucking hate those people.
I don't want to make it political or racial, but a lot of the times it's like I'm like, dude, I can't even it's like a Spanish-speaking football game, and I'm like, come on, I don't even understand what's happening.
I would rather I would much rather it be in a different language, because if I can understand like 5 words at a time and they're scrolling, fuck that. If it's at least in Spanish or something else, I'm like, whatever, it's just noise, which is a little easier. But if it's language that I'm like, you know, your brain automatically starts listening. Yeah. And then, no, dude, I want there to be like a morality police in New York.
There should be.
Where it's just like, hey, they're not going to like bother you about any real bullshit, but it's like, just like a manners police, just to be like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah,
we're not fucking doing this.
Those people
turn your fucking phone off.
Yeah, do exist, and they get punched in the face. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, now I feel like you can't even, like, trying to correct somebody is crazy, because you're like, I don't know.
No,
they got a knife, a gun. Are they like just a fucking like badass? Like, cause I'm not tough. I'm not gonna like tell a guy like, hey, you gotta turn that phone off, because I'm not trying to get punched in the fucking face.
It's polite to stop listening to your music so loud.
Like, I don't know who raised you or wherever you've been at, but like, this is generally not what we do. But I'm not trying to get fucking hit in the face. Some guy got mad at me for waiting. He thought I was too close to him trying to get off the subway.
Oh my God, dude.
I was like, how close were you?
Within 3, I mean, this was plenty of, like, he had his bubble, and he still was like, man, you got to back off me. You know, he was just like a guy in the subway.
Yeah, he's probably coming home from a job. He's pissed. He's been serving salads to hot women all day.
I think it's a lot of these guys, too. I think a lot of guys now, like, they feel like, I mean, this is probably people in general, but we have such little control over our lives.
Yeah.
Like, your job sucks, the world is on fire, AI, all this bullshit. And so if you can be like, yo, you know what I can control? Telling this guy to go fuck himself.
Yeah, especially since he's white.
He's a honky.
Dude, you know, the morality police is like, it actually has to be criminals. It has to be.
It has to be like tough fucking guys who are like, yo. The city is paying me to tell you to shut the fuck up, and I can throw hands with the fucking best of them.
That's what they should do, dude. When you are released from prison, you should have to do like 6 months.
Yeah.
During your probation, you're like, okay, you're now the morality police of New York City.
And we want to throw hands. We want to hear a fucking pin drop in that goddamn subway car.
I had one. I was taking a subway back. I slept at a lady's house like 2 years ago,
Congrats.
3 years ago. Thanks, dude. Huge. And I was taking a subway back in the morning when I lived in Brooklyn, and this old white guy was like jerking off on the train. And it's like a
dick out, or yes. The dick was out.
Yeah, I didn't see it, because what I saw was this fucking skinny, ripped up black dude stand up and start punching the guy in the face. Wow. Dude. And then everyone on the train is like, what the fuck's happening? And this guy just beat the shit out of this old man. Threw him off the train, his shirt ripped, and he's like, God damn it, man. I got to go to work. I'm late for work. The train's delayed. I got to check in with my probation officer. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. That is the guy we need. That's the hero that New York
That's what
needs.
I'm saying. Like, guys like that, just be like, yes, dude, we give you full permission to not give a fuck about human life right now. If this guy is
beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, fuck him.
Dude, the guy tried to get on. He like Spartan kicked him through the door, and
someone should suck that guy's dick.
Threw his bag at him. Dude,
God,
it was
you
wild.
should get a PTO day if you do that.
Dude,
Yeah.
he gets an applause. Everyone's clapping for him. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. There's always like horror stories on the subway, but the city should just be like, and obviously let's recognize Tyrone for beating the shit out of that weird white guy, master. Why are we not throwing those guys on the news?
That's a hero.
That's a fucking hero. That's more like, yeah, people can save a guy who wanted to die, who jumped in front of a subway.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, yeah, this guy also beat a fucking jerk off guy off.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
be honest though, it would be too boring for me. I want to see people jerking off. I seen a girl get naked on the train one time.
No one is
Times
mad at
Square.
the girl getting naked.
No, yeah, no one's mad.
I like a little out of order chaos,
Here's the thing. How about cars where chaos is allowed?
Okay.
Like a chaos car.
I like that. Like the Amtrak. You have
The
a silent
Amtrak,
car.
You have the silent
and then
car.
you have a chaos car.
Because some night, it's Saturday night, you did a couple spots, you're feeling loose. You're like, let's see what the weirdos are up to.
Let's see a little
Right,
chaos.
yeah.
But sometimes you're like, bro, the last thing I want is any of this. Let's go to the quiet car.
I kind of like that. I like that idea.
let the freaks do their thing, because the freaks will police the freaks.
it's like prison down there.
Yeah, like there's going to be rules of a different sort. But like, but then if you like, I want to opt out.
Yeah,
Me
you
and
got
my
a quiet
girl,
car.
me and my girl are just trying to like chill.
We don't want to be bothered.
No.
Oh yeah, well you're in the chaos car, dude. Go 2 cars up.
Yeah, the Joker rules supreme here. But yeah, if you go down, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Did you ever see New York was trying to? I think they got a couple trains like this, but they're trying to get rid of the doors to make it like you can walk
Yeah,
from
the
one
new
end
ones
of the
do.
train to
new-
the other.
The few new ones do.
And I mean that's chaos.
That's-
they don't
yeah.
realize that New York. No, you need enclosed
barriers.
compartments so that people can escape.
Yeah, I remember when they dropped those, everybody online was like, oh, good, the guy with the knife can just scare us the entire train.
Safely.
Dude.
Yeah.
We're almost at an hour, but that flew by, dude. That was so fast.
Yeah, it was great.
That felt so quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I was on the train once and a dude was in one of those wheelchairs, but he's like kicking his way through.
Oh,
so you're
yeah.
like, you don't need it, And then he ran over.
The feet work, dude. What are you doing?
What are you doing? He ran over some guy's foot.
Yeah.
And I look, and the guy sitting down was this like Portuguese blind man. And he was like, what the fuck, man? You ran me. And the dude doesn't realize he's blind. And the blind dude doesn't realize he's crazy. The dude's putting his hand, like he's pulling his backpack. He's like, I'll fucking kill you. I'll shoot you. And dude, I'm on the train like, what the hell is about to happen? Are we about to see a shooting on this train? And then thankfully the guy didn't do anything.
Handicap on handicap violence.
I know, dude.
The real plague of
I mean,
America.
a real handicap against a fraud.
Yeah.
I would say. Stolen valor.
Stolen valor. Yeah. Blind is always at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Blind or paraplegic's the top.
Oh, that's, yeah. Yeah, paraplegic on the subway. It is crazy how not all of the subway stops are handicap accessible.
No.
Crazy.
I had fucking crutches for 2 months when I fucked up my foot. And
Yeah.
like, dude, you just realize you're like, oh my God, if this was my permanent life, like,
It'd be
I don't
tough.
know how the fuck you live here.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
Dude, we're at an hour already. That flew
thanks
by.
for having me,
I know we
guys.
didn't tell a lot of stories, but
okay.
sometimes those pods go like that.
Yeah.
This will be out, 2 weeks, I
Sure.
think. So tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, at the comedian Jake on all socials. YouTube again for the special October 23rd is just Jake Silberman.
And that'll be, next Wednesday, huh?
Yeah. Next Wednesday.
What's the name? What are you calling it?
the working title? I think we might switch it, but right now it's called Something Snazzy.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the other title that you're thinking of?
I don't know. I'm a big fan of just like, I liked when comedy albums and specials were called Live From Wherever They Were From.
Oh, that's fun.
I
Yeah.
think that's kind of like a fun throwback. So I might just do Live from Portland because I don't know, like the title, unless it's a punchline to the joke, which I'm probably not going to do one of those.
Yeah.
So I'm Live from Portland, but Something Snazzy, something happened during the show with this audience member, and he said that. So I think it was kind of a fun little.
That
like,
is cool.
Whatever.
I like Live from Portland. Just put
Yeah,
my
Live from Portland
sense
just
in.
seems like what I don't know. I shot it there. It's like it's my club. It's
No
my
one
home
else
club.
has Live from Portland.
Yeah.
And you could put your name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so,
I think it helps having your name on there in the special.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would. Oh, like
Jake Silberman, Live from Portland.
I guess I would do Jake Silberman Something Snazzy either way. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
either way.
But yeah. So watch that, please. Comment on it. Even if you hate it, just throw a comment on there. I think it helps the
algo.
algorithm.
Oh,
I
big
don't think
time.
it matters anymore. So yeah, and I have a bunch of shows coming up that you can check out. I think I just posted photo on there with all my dates throughout the rest of the fall. So I'm kind of in the Midwest and New England and bopping around until December.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, thanks for coming on. Dom, tell them where they can find you.
Right here, of course, every episode of Troublemakers, Andras Salami Podcast, also Dominic Leonelli on Instagram and YouTube.
Woo! Okay, well, you can find me at Dylan Krasinski on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and at Troublemakers on all those sites. We post clips a few times a week, and we're here every single Wednesday, so check us out. Go follow Jake, check out his special, and we'll see you next week, baby. Good night.